fired up the way we bounced back. It's been a long 4 weeks, right? When you don't win, you have some tough bouts. You know, you could kind of lose. You could lose a team, and that's the one thing that never happened. So I'm really excited for our guys. We're really starting to look forward to the Big Ten tournament. And this was a match, obviously, that was important from an individual standpoint, but also for a team standpoint. So it's good to start your training in preparation for the Big Tens off a win. And I know we have another one Wednesday. Well, some guys will wrestle, some guys won't wrestle. That'll be determined in the next couple of days, but our preparation will start for the Big Ten tournament.
Scott, you mentioned the Big Ten tournament, which is 3 weeks from tomorrow, right?
Correct.
Where do you think your team is right now?
Middle of the pack in that conference. Is that what you mean? Is that like where?
Both team-wise and individual. Where do you think you are?
I think from a team standpoint, we're probably middle of the pack. I think that's fair. We're going to have to upset some guys to make that semifinal and final round for sure. But we do have some guys in some pretty good spots. For example, Dylan Shawver, believe it or not, that match tonight was huge. So possible second seed right there. So, but it's the Big Ten tournament. I promise you this, everybody on that line in that bracket in every single weight class is very, very good. So we know that. We've been through it. So it really doesn't matter where you're placed on the line, but some of our guys put themselves in a better position, if that makes sense. So, but that's where I think we're kind of at as a team. I think from an individual standpoint, we could win a lot of big matches, but we have to get better the next 3 weeks. We have to get better.
Brian, another pin for you at JMA. Just talk about that pin today.
I mean, there's no better feeling. The crowd here is none other like in the country. And obviously for the end of the year, Goody's gonna owe me a steak dinner for the team point race. So it's always a good little bonus.
That's true.
Describe the move, Brian. It looked like you just flipped them over.
It was a little bit of a freestyle move with we call it a whizzer kick, just get him up and over. But last year, this year, I've been so comfortable with my over-unders, and today I just fell right into my comfort spot.
Coach, what do you make of Alex Sandz at 57? Is he going to be the guy moving forward? And obviously, he came up big with that major decision.
Yeah, that was great for Al. He wanted that match. That's a nationally ranked kid, I believe. So that was just good for Al. We've struggled at that weight class all year long, right? It's no secret. We struggled at 165 for both guys to stick with it, continue to come in and train, have your opportunity to win in this building is important. And they've heard a lot of crap, right? Everybody at the weight 57, 65, they've heard a lot of. So it was good for them. I'm proud of those guys for, sticking with it and just continuing to come in and train. And that's the best thing about our team. There's been ups, there's been downs. It's a blue collar mentality, or it's just a lunch pail mentality, and come to work every day trying to get better. And we know these next 3 weeks are super, super important. And but I'm happy, long-winded way of saying I'm super proud of both Anthony and Al. Good job.
When you mentioned that blue collar mentality, you had Frankie Yeager and Sebastian Rivera come back tonight, be honored. What was that like for your program and obviously for the fans in attendance?
I mean, I don't know how many people even understand that Frankie worked with us for those first 2-3 years, right? And those were some cool days. They were a lot of fun, and he was just getting into his career. And I saw it up on the video screen, but I mentioned he's the toughest son of a gun I've ever been around. Hardest working guy I've ever been around. So he spoke to the team this year, and every time he comes around us, and he's around us quite a bit, and obviously is super tight with Sebastian, but he inspires. He's an inspiring guy. He's an inspiring guy who never thinks he's out of it, and I think we take on a little bit of that persona. Maybe we don't talk about Frankie every single day, but it's a little bit of that persona that started back in 2007 that still carries on today. So it was awesome that he was here tonight. Well-deserved. Hall of Famer is pretty cool. He gets a singlet. But he's the man, and obviously we're very, very close. So,
and Coach, a lot of positives today, like you mentioned with Brian and Al. Just what are some takeaways you had overall heading into a Big Ten tournament?
An opportunity. It's Maryland's an up-and-coming team who's doing a really, really good job. They really are. They just beat Michigan State pretty bad last week. So I was certainly thinking about it, and I just think it was good for our guys. It was good for our guys to go out, another Big Ten win at home, and that's what I'm taking away from it. I think to score, you got to shoot. You got to be offensive. You got to be. And there were times maybe we weren't. as aggressive as the staff would have liked. But I just take away a long Big Ten season. Now we're through it. Now we can really start to concentrate. And I know we got Bloomsburg. We won't take anybody lightly there, but we're 3 weeks out for the Big Ten championships, and that's what we're going to get healthy. We're going to get rested. We're going to train. We're going to have a great cycle of training, and we'll be ready to go in 3 weeks down in Maryland.
Schaller, at the beginning of the year, he was probably not the first name that came to everybody's mind when they thought about your team. But now he might be. What has taken him to the next level?
He's worked at it. He's really good. He's always been really, really good. Maybe 25 was a stretch for him. That kind of took away a little bit of his wrestling, I think, concentrating totally on a weight. And then he got a little banged up last year. But Dylan's always been good. He's beaten a lot of these guys through the freestyle ranks. You know, the Penn State guy, Nagao, he's beaten through for Kolioko, he's beaten. He's had a ton of huge, huge wins. And he's a gangster, man. He believes he could beat everybody. So that's the coolest part about it. He loves to compete. And now he doesn't get a chance to wrestle. That's his last match because you're only allowed 16 bouts, so he won't wrestle Wednesday. So he'll start his preparation Sunday. But every single time he wants to wrestle, he wants to compete. He's a competitor. He'll be in the thick of every single match going forward from here till March 20th for sure.